That's my take.
Drafting the quarterback.
I think they got good running back situation with Melvin Gordon.
If he can stay healthy.
Right. And that's key with a lot of running backs. I mean, it's kind of rolling dice, but you got the talent there.
Well, I mean, we've seen plenty of running backs who haven't had an issue staying healthy.
Right.
I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, the only games he's missed in his career were when he was suspended for bullshit and when he was held out of games for rest.
Right. Yep.
Alvin Kamara has been healthy.
Yeah, even Mark Ingram for the most part.
Again, only his suspension.
Yeah, guys like LaShawn McCoy were always was always kind of a risk. He would get hurt a lot. Maybe you got Hunter Henry, who seems to be coming back healthy.
I'm sure Stephen A. is happy about that.
Yeah. But that'd be my take. Maybe switch up your quarterback and address the defense to start.
Okay. What about you, Dan O'Shea? What do you think?
Oh, where to start?
One thing. You only get one thing.
He only gets one thing.
Yeah, you gotta be happy with the coaching. Like, yeah, it's a loss, but he turned that team around.
Anthony Lynn is a great coach.
He really is. He should be up in the conversation with, everyone's touting Sean McVay. You really got to talk about him. Very underrated for what he's managed to do in a very short time. They need another high-level receiver.
Really quickly, Dan O'Shea.
Healthy Hunter Henry.
Sorry, Dan O'Shea. We just got some breaking news. According to Bleacher Report, Panthers owner considering all options to help Cam Newton heal shoulder, including sitting him out for the entire 2019 season. Oh my God! What's the point?
Jeez.
What is the point? If you're worried about his health, trade him.
Yeah.
Trade him. God damn.
Good quarterbacks don't grow on trees, so that's their fear. I probably agree. Sit him, maybe draft a quarterback the following year if you want. But sit him, let him get healthy, and then, see which quarterback ends up working out for you after that year. That's a tough blow to Panthers fans. I guess that shoulder was worse than anyone thought.
Honestly, I'm of the mindset that if you have something that's broken and someone's willing to give you a lot of money for it, fucking sell it.
Yeah.
Trade him. Do you know who would love to have Cam Newton? The Giants, the Jaguars, the Broncos.
Cardinals.
No, the Cardinals like Rosen.
I don't see why.
They brought in Cliff Kingsbury, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too. They brought in Cliff Kingsbury to get the best out of Rosen. So, anyways, trade him. If you're worried about his health and you're planning on sitting him anyways, trade him
49ers.
and get a ransom for him. No, the 49ers love Jimmy Garoppolo. Love Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Although, I've heard a bunch of Giants fans saying that they think the Giants should trade Odell Beckham to the 49ers for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Which, again, injury concern.
Well, also, who the hell's going to protect them?
Their offensive line has gotten way better in the second half of the season. It really did.
Yeah.
That being said, if you get a 35 on a test and you get a 55 on the next test, you did way better than before.
Yeah.
You still fail.
Perfect analogy.
You still fail.
Yeah. But you
did way better.
A little bit better.
Anyways.
You scrambled 3 more brain cells to get to that, There you go.
Absolutely. All right. And then moving on, our last headline: Bye Eagles, bye.
Your favorite, just about, right?
Yep.
Doesn't that make in all fairness, doesn't that make your weekend by Sunday night, even though the Cowboys did in advance?
No, I got more enjoyment out of writing the Dan D'Antoni theme song, which I'm still working on. And it will debut soonish.
Keep them guessing.
Yeah. But, no, I don't know. I felt the misery of being in a close game that you probably shouldn't have been in the first place and having victory within grasp and just lose it. So I kind of felt bad for the Eagles. Mm-hmm. But then I remembered, fuck them and their horse shit eating and their horse punching and their pole climbing dipshit selves.
Mask wearing.
Seriously, fuck them. But Big Dick Nick Foles led the Eagles into New Orleans and came out with a loss. The magical Foles run is over, and I could not be happier. The Saints got down early 14-0, but didn't allow a single point after the first quarter. Next Sunday, the Saints play host to Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, and Fat C.J. Anderson, and that insane defensive front seven. Can they get back to the Super Bowl? We will find out. Question, what's next for the Eagles? Wentz has yet to play in, let alone win, a playoff game. Is there a quarterback controversy? That actually got answered today. The answer to that's no, Wentz is their guy. What can the Eagles do to get back to Super Bowl form? Go to a different team? I don't know. No, defense. I think getting a really good secondary player is really, in my opinion, the difference between them having to play the Saints and them having to play the Rams. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, that right there makes the difference. Because if they play the Rams, they've got that swagger, that confidence. We played the Rams. We beat them in an important game. We can beat them. Whereas they're thinking, last time we played the Saints, we got beat 45-7.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if they have a corner that is worth anything, they probably win one more, maybe two more games that were close.
Yeah.
And they get the NFC East.
Easily, yeah.
And then they're the ones playing the Rams.
Which, I mean, let's face it, almost shook that way. So.
It did, yeah. So, in my opinion, a corner is what they Patrick Peterson is what they should want.
Tighten up the defense, definitely. As you mentioned, I think, Carson Wentz is our guy. Well, I think that might end up shooting him in the foot.
Well, your guy can't stay healthy. He's never played in a playoff game. He's never won a playoff game. This is his third year. And the team's won a Super Bowl, and their star quarterback hasn't even played in it.
Right. And that so much doesn't matter now, but granted that, him and Foles are 1-2. Who was, by chance, the third string on that team?
What's his name? Nate Sudfeld.
Okay.
Is our third stringer.
So, you definitely are going to want to have a backup QB ace in your pocket. So that being one. Number two, you definitely need the healthy Jay Ajayi. I feel like their running game, it really was, for the most part, lacking all season. I know you had Clement, you had Smallwood. Both utility guys at best. You did pick up a few pieces. You picked up Golden Tate. That's a plus. Maybe a few more. Maybe some attention to the wide receiving core. You got Zach Ertz at tight end.
Yeah. So your receiving core, as constituted, your number one is Alshon Jeffrey. Your number two is Golden Tate. Your number three is Nelson Aguilar. You've got Zach Ertz. You've got Dallas Goddard.
Yeah.
And then you've got Wendell Smallwood and Corey Clement that can catch out of the backfield. In terms of receiving, they're pretty set. So if I'm the Eagles, I'm not concerned with a wide receiver.
I think
least
Golden
not-
Tate stays though.
I mean, he's got another year on his contract, I think, doesn't he? Or is
No.
he a free agent after this year?
I have to look it up. I'm
Look,
not
Golden
sure.
Tate, if you're a free agent, come to Dallas.
Yeah. Or call us and let us know you are.
Yeah. Yeah. We know you're listening, Golden Tate. Give us a call. Anyways, so what would your one thing be? Out of all of those, what is the one thing that they need to do?
I mean, quarterback. I feel like,
You need to figure out the quarterback situation?
yeah, I feel that's the driving force behind all of it. And the defense is, like you say, at the corner, but
Honestly, if I'm the Eagles, I go to the Jaguars, I go to the Giants, I go to
you
the
could
Broncos,
I could see having one start and
and I say Carson Wentz is available for the right price. What have you got?
mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not
Yeah,
in a
'cause-
situation where you need to trade him,
No.
so you've got all the leverage. It's not like you're desperate.
True.
But the teams that you're going to, I guarantee the Giants, the Jaguars, possibly even the Dolphins, the Broncos, you go to any of them and you say, hey, Carson Wentz might be available for the right price. What have you got? You'll get something back for him.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Remember when the Vikings paid the Eagles all that money for Sam Bradford?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, not money, picks. Paid all those picks for Sam Bradford. Carson Wentz can get a lot more than Sam Bradford could.
My
Anyways,
favorite being that Colin Kaepernick's fans pretty much flipped out when they heard Nate Peterman got signed again.
oh God. First of all, Colin Kaepernick hasn't played football in a few years. I don't know how many people want to sign a guy who hasn't played football in years. And if they do, it's going to be like the Bills are like, hey, Matt Barkley, I need you for 2 weeks and then you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. It was just like, it's kind of like a funny thing in the news.
The Colin Kaepernick situation, it's not even sports anymore. That's politics.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue politics is a sport. That's why they call it a race. But I don't know. Dan O'Shea, one thing the Eagles need to do to get back to Super Bowl form.
Well, in that game, Brooks tore his Achilles, so I think they're going to need a new O-lineman.
Probably going to need a few.
Huh?
Said they're probably going to need a few. Jason Peters is like done.
Yeah. So I'm going to say they need to invest in the O-line mainly, even to get back to playoffs again. If they want to get back to Super Bowl form on top of that, then yeah, I'm looking at the defensive side of the ball. Their cornerbacking did seem to step up in the playoffs, so I want to see what they can do with their D-line to really put pressure on opposing quarterbacks.
Okay.
Sounds
D-line.
like two defenses and one offensive stance.
Yeah, that's correct. So
Their situation is really, it is interesting because it could break one of two ways. And
it's an obvious answer. It's an obvious answer. I know you paid 4 draft picks for Carson Wentz. I know he's the face of your franchise. But he hasn't equated to winning anything.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
He hasn't. So, I don't. It's obvious to me. You stick with Nick Foles. But whatever. You guys ready to move on to the next topic?
Let's do it.
You ready? In order to be an MVP,
Oh man.